Hello. Welcome to Black Angus Reviews. Riding solo today. Uh I will put the link out later. Um but I saw this very interesting Bounding into Comics article, glanced over it, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta dig into this. No Chris Fish today. This is kind of impromptu. Once I get more settled with work again, then hope to have some campaigners on, dig into their campaigns, look at upcoming comics, and hopefully get some backing, dig in to their perspective. I do love digging into that stuff. Let me find this article really quick. And crazy news, any of you Nintendo fairies, Link is getting a film with Aviarad, how are you supposed to say his name, behind it. Uh, Mixed bag there, to say the least. But let me present this and we'll dig into it. And yeah, say hi. I always hate my hat being crooked. Don't forget to say hi in the chat. Here we go. Alrighty. Can I get rid of this ad? Oh my god. There we go. All right. Comic retailer warns industries on brink of collapse unless major changes enacted. All right. So before I even dig into this article, there's a comic store owner that I'm friendly with. Once they were friends, I like to be friends. No homeowners. But digging in, like, I'm already aware for the last couple of years he hasn't carried DC because of the Asiatic infection and how that set everything topsy turvy. Dynamite with Diamond, and he just doesn't carry DC anymore. And so he'll tell, like, hey, go to my competitor in the local market if you want DC. I just don't carry it because I'm paying a direct competitor, and if there is shortages, who am I compared to, like, their, a lot of cronyism you have to worry about. And it just, crap doesn't sell, so he's limiting limiting the potential market to come to a store, especially if they're DC diehards. But at the same time, he's staving off probably a lot of stuff collecting dust and never getting sold, barring people digging for past issues of stuff that didn't sell, that all of a sudden boosted because of a movie coming out, something like that. But yeah, it's the headache it seems for comic store owners. He said, if you love comic books and that's it, like, don't run a store, because you don't do this just because you love comics. This is a business. And he went from having the monopoly of Diamond, which has its problems, but now there's 3 distributors, if I'm not mistaken, that he has to deal with, and that reduces his discounts, thus making it harder to make a profit, trimming the margins down even smaller than they were before with Diamond. So yeah, of course, buying comics, I'm very hit or miss with this, but I do appreciate when they do good reporting, or at least worthwhile, pieces. So of course they use this infamous Son of Kal-El Volume 1, Number 5 cover or picture of the gay kiss of Superman's son. So let's begin. It says it's nearly 2024. I'm more than concerned. Oh, by the way, this is by Phil Boyle. I'm assuming this is written by a store owner. We'll find out possibly. Marvel and DC, you blew it. Or maybe you just succeeded in your plan to kill off an American art form of which you've been the able stewards of for 80 years. It's baffling that something so prolific was ushered to the chopping block and executed. Strong accusation? No, just the unvarnished truth as new comic sales find new lows. Here's the infamous was it Tim Sheridan, gay Alan Scott, Green Lantern, just came out. Tried to kind of reverse hate campaign. You know what? I'll give it to Tim Sheridan. He's trying to think outside the box. He's not just relying on the uh, to a degree, probably he's definitely relying on using an established character for his propaganda. But I've seen people say that that comic is it's all right, you know, barring if your mileage may vary, as Comic Trip says, with the gayness. But if anything, what I've read, it seems the gayness kind of overclouded an interesting story. They were too much about the actual intricacies of his relationships instead of like maybe using that for a bigger picture of him navigating the world as a hero, but being closeted. I think that could work. It's a good empathetic kind of X-Men type of thing. Let me check the chat. Worse, you've got an army of passionate retailers who've worked in this biz for decades, close to poverty wages in many cases. To put such a system of advocates in every state and major city in America and around much of the world would cost a fortune. But it happened organically to your benefit, and in gratitude, you've stripped mine what little profit there was in favor of short-term goals and chasing corporate bonuses. We, the retailers, cultivated the fan base the same way the underappreciated creators created, that's a little alliteration there, the precious IPs that have made their parent companies obscene amounts of money. It was a biosystem of fans feeding off the Wednesday excitement, eager to spend money on not only the comics that drew them in, but the t-shirts, lunchboxes, and mouse pads of Spider-Man or Batman on them. Fan, retailers, and creators have all suffered under the recent corporate mandates. It's not a bad cover, honestly, for this Miss Marvel comic. Where did it go off the rails? It's not such a conundrum to anyone with two active brain cells and a list of back issues they need to complete their runs. Comics, first and foremost, have always been entertainment. Sure, collectible entertainment, which justifies the cost to entertainment ratio. But along the way, the immediate sell and false bolstering of numbers through variant covers, convoluted events, and incessant reboots left considerations of the fans behind. Character swapping, gender bending, and changing sexual orientation of beloved characters fell flat with the Wednesday Warriors, who supported the industry for decades. The crowd of new readers the changes were meant to attract didn't translate to a one-for-one swap, leaving a declining customer base. There's a lot to unpack in that one paragraph. Where'd it go? Yeah, I want to say Star Wars High Republic #1 had a big sell because it's a new era Star Wars, a lot of first appearances of potentially important characters, especially with the High Republic show coming out for Acolyte. But there's a lot of shenanigans. There's like, I want to say there's like a 10,000 to 1 variant. You had to buy, I want to say 10,000 copies to get the one super duper copy that you would, I guess, is sort of try to flip. Or if you're buying it through the store, you're getting boxes of a first issue to get that one comic. And that boosts the sales because the sales, as far as I know, aren't counted from the stores. They're counted stores buying them to put them in their store. So a little misnomer there. What the real sales are of any comic, I don't know. But yeah, the one-to-one swap. If you don't recall, years ago, there was a great EVS stream. A lot of people were so triggered in the chat because he had a trans person on. And everyone was so like, why are you hosting this person? And it was great because he was, pardon the pun, letting them hang themselves. Not directly that person, but them as kind of an avatar for the loud woke mob on Twitter that say, oh, we love Captain Marvel, we love this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, "Oh, I buy the subscription online for like $10. I can't afford comics; they're too expensive. I can't follow everything if it wasn't for digital." Which I think justifies digital, but um, look at Spawn. Spawn's been running for like 30 years, still $2.99. I honestly don't know how he makes a profit. But he's trying to stay under. Only like special super duper copies ever get a boost in the pricing. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, the swapping, as you see with Alan Scott, this sexuality swapping. Um, who's it for? Honestly, I know it's for. It's for these people arguably have agenda and or just their education in college. They've been told rhetoric to live by, not given like, all right, well, like, I want to make the world more diverse or whatever. But you got to be progressive was like a step system. That's how America works. It's like, all right, founding fathers, slavery thing's a problem, but we can't just uproot a foundation of our economy, especially in the South, overnight. And so we got to do a step system. That's where you get the three-fifths clause to try to like start a process of legitimizing the humanity of slaves, and eventually get like civil rights. Where that's gone since, you can argue the value, but you see the value of you can't just overnight make livestock full-fledged citizen people with votes. So you have compromise with the progressive agenda of making them people in the eyes of the state. And that's how you got to do this stuff. You got, what was it, Uhura or whatever her name is in Star Trek, a black lady of importance on the crew of the Starship Enterprise. And then a few years into it, you have her and Captain Kirk make out. Ooh, this first generational kiss on TV. It's a big deal. I'm sure a lot of people were triggered. I'm sure if YouTube was around, there'd be lots of videos about the wokeness. They're forcing the interracial on us. But it was a small little thing to try to like, it wasn't just overnight. Hey, here is interracial family with mixed sandy-haired colored kids. It's a gradual process. These people want to just like change overnight. That's the biggest problem. And also swapping characters instead of like trying to make a new character. It's a tired argument that we have to have, but this is the state of things. Make new shit. If you don't want to piss people off, and that's the thing though. They're working on this. Any PR is good PR. We see how that's working for the Marvels. See how that's working. Worst box office projection ever for Marvel. It's a big conundrum of crap. To make things more difficult on the retail side, and a very deliberate abuse of both the FOC system. I'm not sure what FOC is. Let me Google this really quick. So, following field-oriented control. Huh. It's not making it any clearer for me. And retailers' goodwill towards publishers constantly have to FOC and issue 2 issues out rather than next issue. I'm assuming he's talking like comic store, like ordering. This makes ordering a guess. Throw in 4 covers on number 5, then 6 on number 6. One of them is by Archer, another by Scotty Young, and then number 7 is 5 covers with neither cover artist, and 8 has a celebrity appearance cover. And it's a constant and very deliberate shell game, forcing retailers to guess on nearly every next issue. That's kind of a cool cover. Wonder Woman riding a kangaroo. It's got a saddle. This is what comics should have. Like, comics should have like the dour serious Batman sludging through the long defeat of fighting bad guys. That's what make or Spider-Man, the objectivist pinnacle of doing what's right because it's right and because he has the power to do so. He is implicitly required to do good. It's interesting. Makes us endeared to the character because his life sucks. Peter Parker sucks. His life is always coming second to the duty of Spider-Man. It's an uphill battle. It's never going to win. It's always going to lose out somewhere. It's Peter Parker. That's why we like him. But at the same time, this wacky Wonder Woman cover. This is fun. It's like she's hopping down from Olympus or Themyscira, but I'm assuming Olympus because there's male. It appears male. Maybe they're female, but it appears male. These statues in the background. And it looks like your classic kind of World War II style skirt. So I'm like, this is fun. This is wacky stuff. That's what comics should be. If I'm not mistaken, Jimmy Olsen, some man made him marry a gorilla. Never read the issue, but people remember that. How do we fix this? Assuming we can pull the canoe back over the waterfall at this point. A friend of mine recently moved into a condo and took up an advisory position on the board. The pole was in need of repair. The roofs needed replacing, and the facades and landscaping had seen better days. There's no money to make repairs, and the only solution was to add $150 a month to every condo's fees to pay for the repairs. Meaning that fall, the announcement was less than friendly as people complained about the extra costs. My buddy explained that everyone had been living off the equity in the condos and put no money into the condos, thereby devaluing them. I wish it said who the artist was. I saw this and I'm like, interesting. This is, if I'm not mistaken, Black Widow's sister. They're trying to boost her up with the comics, leading into, I guess, the Thunderbolt show. I like Florence Pugh as the White Widow. So you're talking about Black Widow, but that like silly chemistry her and Scarlett had, and I appreciate it. I appreciate her going, ugh, gross. I did the superhero pose. Yuck. Which makes me wonder, like, where was she seeing this? Was I guess someone was filming Black Widow posing, what, in Sokovia or New York? Otherwise, I mean, well, I guess maybe it's DC where Winter Soldier happened. I don't know. It just seems strange that they actually would have caught her posing from a fall, but whatever. Her playing with like, oh, you like my new thing? I got all these pockets because it's like, all right, here's a assassin. She's been brainwashed in this assassin league, the Widow Corps, whatever you call it. That's all she knows. So girls have an implicit, they want to be pretty and show off. Look at my stuff. But you put that in the context of an assassin. That's interesting. I wonder if they would do that with Leon the Professional, with Natalie Portman's character. If you like aged her up, she does this work for years, kind of brainwashed. Interesting stuff. And here we are in the comic industry facing the same conundrum. Marvel and DC have strip mined the comic industry for the better part of a decade, putting no money into the market that sustained them for years. Much like the Condo Association, an investment is needed by those who lived off the equity for years. If you want a market in 2 years, yes, 2 years tops, then the time to invest is now. What we need to revitalize this market. One, 3.99 comics. I would say $2.99, but we have increased rents, labor, and insurance costs to cover. So $3.99, $4.99, and more is a non-star with too many fans. Fewer covers. I know this will get some pushback from every corner, but without a focus, it's all about the value of the covers and not what's between them. Max of 2 covers. While you're at it, give us a hook to sell, not just another convention commission piece and no indication what's inside the comic it covers. That's the thing. I'm a novice reader. I started like some degree collecting around the time Force Awakens was coming out. There was like the Journey of the Force Awakens. There was Darth Vader comic coming out, and I'm like seeing all these cool covers, and then I go home and open a comic. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like, it's nothing like the pitch of the cover. So from first to start, I've been chagrined by feel let down by the covers. I get it. Some artists like Art Germ. How long would it take him to make a whole comic with that art style? Or like Cedric. I mean, he's done comics, but full interiors. But man, quality over quantity. You're not gonna get it quick unless you want it crappy. Shit. There we go. Cord. Hey, what is up, Zombie Box Reviews? I'm just digging into this Banging the Comics article. Ironically, actually about comics. Usually they don't really cover much comic stuff. But yeah, if you want to link, dig in this with me. I'm about to put it here in the chat. Where is it? And possibly we might get some campaigns I've been interested in. A couple of them related to Isaac Bell. I don't know if you know him, but amazing artist. Let me. There we go. Here's the invite. Yeah, if you want to come in and hang out, I don't think we've ever actually talked. So I'm assuming you're English. Could be wrong. Yeah, you never really got into comics yourself. I would say go online. There is a couple sites I can DM you. There's a couple sites you can read for free. And I don't feel bad about it. You know, if it was like independent comics, crowdfunding, that's another story. But a lot of these people working for the mainstream comics are commies. They promoted Antifa, BLM, and whatnot, which was full of destroying cities, communities, politically terrorizing people. Start with your comic. Yeah. Do you have Stoney? DM me. Do you actually have like a formulated like series at all with the stuff you make, or you just do kind of like one page, kind of like Stone Toss, where it's got like a progression, like 1 to 4 panels, tell a story in that page? Let me know. What was I saying though? Damn it, Stoney, you totally distracted me. But yeah, no, I don't feel bad. Also, I go to the library. A lot of this stuff, as soon as they get the trade paperback, it's in the library. So, top of them being commie Antifa weirdos that promote like capitalism's evil. Well, I agree. That's why I'm reading your shit for free. I'm pirating your comics. And it's not even piracy, really. If I can read the comic at the library, it's virtually open domain. And if I like this shit, I'll actually at least buy secondary market stuff on eBay. What's up, Lodonis? Appreciate it. Going to bed. Oh, it's already 1:45. Why not stay up later, longer? What is Marvel's poster? Where'd it go? Come on. Where is the tag? Son of a bitch. Let's go higher, further, faster together, zombie. Let's do this together. Yeah, Steven, you got some good stuff going on, and you got a fun Thanksgiving weekend feasts, plural. You're gonna gobble in various ways. I tip my hat to you, sir. But yeah, let's continue. See, fewer covers. Editors. Who are editors? Too many stories are lackluster and agenda driven. Too many covers are Our con sketch drivel with no sales point and too much interior art is amateurish. It's clear neither Marvel nor DC has a publishing plan beyond current reboot. Well, here's the problem. Just watching like EVS, where it's like, all right, they were like rock stars with Green Lantern, him and Jeff Johns. It's like, all right, we sell like 50,000 copies per issue. And then Diamond gets what, like, I think it said like 40%, and the stores get their cut. So is he talking about what, maybe 30%, which I think in taxes and whatnot. So, like, what is the actual revenue to the artist and writer? They're not really making shit. This is why they're doing that, like, new image thing, him and Fabok and some others I saw. I need to dig into that actually, but some new company or site or something. When he did that Giger image, I was like, shit, it was like amazing. And the first issue is really cool, but then second issue, I'm like, where's the story going? I'm not following this. Screw you. Yeah, he sure does have a good plan. See where we go. Number 4. The characters are iconic for a reason. The movies never got traction until they lean into what made the characters decades-long successes. Change is good for story, but inevitably you need to touch base with what brought them. Gender swaps, sexual orientation changes, and outright changes to who's in the suit are short-term headline grabbers, but without long-term sales, with very few exceptions. Sorry, sometimes these sentences read strangely. I'm expecting them to go longer, and then it's like, oh, I'm on the next point. I've already talked about this earlier. The gender swaps and whatnot. Generally bad for business. Something like Green Lantern, you could do as long as they're already open to having so many. Honestly, I'm like, why does Earth have so many compared to? It seems like, oh, I'm the Green Lantern of this sector, and I'm by my fucking self on multiple planets. But then Earth gets super duper like 20. It's you got the new black chick, you got Hal Jordan, you got Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner. There's the Muslim guy. There's the Latina chick. That's 7 that I know of. I'm assuming they're all like in conjunction, cohabitating as Green Lanterns for whatever the number sector we're in. Green Lantern's cool. The characters suck. I tried Green Lantern, and it's like, what is the draw? You read Spider-Man, it's like you can tell stories Spider-Man just as him. Of like, I want to wear the suit and do good stuff, but oh man, I gotta try to keep a roof over my head. Juggle like, oh man, I like Mary Jane, but we're on the fritz, and then this Black Cat chick from Spider-Man or Gwen Stacy, etc. That's fun stuff. The drama get in the way of life. It's like that's like real life to some extent. That's why we like these characters. Tell stories without proselytizing. I've beat this drum for a decade and more, but here we are, chasing away a large portion of our customer base with every new tale, as they want entertainment, not a serialized sermon. Again, I've already kind of touched that earlier. It's tried and true. Dark Knight and Captain America Civil War. Great comic adaptation films because they use real world politics. I would say Captain America Civil War is like modern politics, not today, Biden, Trump. No, like modern, like the fading of colonialism into democratic states. So 400 years of political theory and science. The argument of sovereignty, especially if you are dealing with objectivist characters, essentially nuclear weapons, nuclear options with their own agency, arguably not in line with the state they inhabit. They go into other states that they aren't necessarily asked to intervene. Where's the line? That's interesting. That's what Civil War is really about. Is where's the line of sovereignty? Does the nation have a right to let its people suffer? Because like, no, 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 we will handle it. Ultimately, cause more calamity than if like Captain America and company hop in, do their business, save the day, and then peace out. Who elected them? This is the problem. This is ultimately the problem of vigilantism. Batman is a criminal, legally speaking. Um, and it's actually an interesting question. Like, I don't know if I've ever dug into this, but Spider-Man, like, he webs a criminal. He's a thief. He like webs them and leaves them for the police. What the hell's the police gonna do? They're gonna get there and be like, oh man, this guy's been webbed. Unless there's people like, hey, this guy did that and Spider-Man webbed him, and I'm waiting for you to get here so I can, give my report to you. And you can book them as suspects. But it's like, where's the police work for the police to like accept the exchange? This is something I think about with any superhero. At least the boys, as a satire, at least the boys actually has an infrastructure where it's like, all right, these are private company dictated superheroes, but they're kind of working in line with the cities. And you see the backroom deals of like, all right, hey, we'll give you 25 million a year so you can get this cool guy in our city. It's good PR, yada yada, and business might boom. That makes more sense than just Spider-Man makes sense. Batman makes sense. But it's the exchange of criminals to the authorities. There's no due process, you know, unless you actually got them red-handed and leave the offending theft or whatever, like in their possession or in their vicinity with the person nabbed. Dark Knight made sense at least, because regardless if Batman is a vigilante or not, and there's no legal exchange, at least that guy is wanted. That's why he fled the country quick before like the warrant went into effect. And so it's like he's wanted, and it's like, oh wow, he's delivered to our door. Thanks, Batman. Totally illegal, but that's after the fact. So he's here. He's still there's already a legal process enacted before Batman intervenes. He just closes the gap that they can't with the red tape. It's working outside the law for the law. So like that's good, but like, most stories, I don't know. Hey, what's up, Puff? Not much. Let me see. Earth is the special child of the universe. It needs all the help it can get. So you're explaining the Green Lantern crap. Okay. Me and Hoff had a good conversation yesterday, unexpectedly. Let's continue. Number 6, limited new characters. Fresh blood is good, but it's become obvious that characters aren't organic to stories. They're shoehorned in for a bump in sales. Dance with who brung you, as the saying goes. I guess depends the kind of story you're trying to tell. Like a random buy. If you may have seen me on stream, I read an issue, the first issue. And I was comparing it to ISOM and why ISOM sucks. And I'm like, look, here's a third the size of a comic, no superheroes, at least at this point. And you kind of just dropped in on this event. You don't get like a full spectrum of like why these guys are here. But it makes sense. And as you read the story, it's like a web of people. And here and there, you might jump back to a different character and like where they're at in the world. But I don't know. It's the type of story you try and tell. If you're trying to sell Batman, do Batman. Even the boys, you got like a central group. Sometimes you might step away, follow some tangent or some like history, but all like relates back to kind of investigative endeavors by the boys to then get to the next point in the story and have for the reader its way to do exposition with like purpose. I get it's funny, the more I watch movies and stuff, exposition is probably the biggest fucking pet peeve of mine. Is how would I say it? Game of Thrones, especially season 1. So much exposition done correctly, where it's like, all right, so that guy, he's this and that. He worked here, and somehow he's already risen to knight. And you're like, why would you say this? This person's in your world too. But it's a dumb girl, Sansa. She has no idea. She's living up in the north in Fort Drum. Doesn't know anybody. And so it makes sense for her to like spill the tea with her. And ultimately it's for us, the audience. It makes sense versus I can't think of an example right now, but oh my god. There's a great movie me and Ricky just watched. You may have heard of it, you may have not, probably not. Sigourney Weaver and Michelle Rodriguez. And Monk's in it too, Tony Shalhoub. Um, right from the start, Tony Shalhoub is like the psychiatrist interrogating Sigourney Weaver, but he's like reading her file chronologically to her. It's like, well, she should already know that she did it. She went to court, said these things. That's why there's a file. Why you need like you could just have like I don't know, a couple cops or psychiatrists like, oh man, hey, new doctor, let me like catch you up on this person. And then you come into the room with her and be like, yes, I read your file. Pretty crazy. And it's just, it sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. I hate it. I hate bad exposition. If you just put like, maybe it's a budgeting thing and that's like an in shoot thing, or like, all right, so we got this story deal stuff. Like, how do we encapsulate to start? It just feels lazy, you know? I hate it. Um, yeah, it's good to be saying hi to everybody. Let's see. Yeah, no, I generally agree with this number though. Number 6. It's just story appropriate. I mean, comics, you're going to have to start building the world and have, and that's how the classic comics, I'd say late 70s back. It's like villain of the week. And it's like, oh, for no reason at all. You got to fight this guy. And then maybe it'll trend. Like the Punisher was just kind of maybe there was some effort there, but he's a Spider-Man villain originally. And it's just like, people are like, hey, that guy was cool. And I'm like, all right, I guess we'll make more Punisher. But he was just one of many who just like, all right, this week he's got to fight the Punisher. Yeah, you got to have the central character though. Number 7, I'd ask for minimum advertised price, but we're not in that world anymore. You made deals with the devil, which is also on you. I don't understand exactly because this is supposed to be a comic store owner, so I'm not sure exactly what he means here. Is he saying just across the board, like if you're Marvel, you charge this, if you're DC, you charge that, if you're Image, you charge this? It goes with size and exclusivity, big names, first issue. I don't know. Number 8, here's the big one. Discount and shipping. Marvel and DC screwed this market, so if you want to continue to have people dumb enough to labor 60 hours a week for poverty wages to sell and advocate for your precious IPs, you need to invest in that market. You strip mined all the cash out of the direct market, and retailers are bleeding from the bone. We need your investment, or this market goes away. Now, you can't just sell online, as the minimum production costs won't be met with online only. Investment means putting books on stands at a cost to you, not the people with the highest per issue cost. That's a pretty sick cover. It's kind of all over the place with the detail, though. Like the gun looks so minimal, and it doesn't look like a real gun. Like the magazine, that looks like a standard military magazine, but then the rest of the gun just looks future stupid. Maybe the buttstock. The rest of it has like no detail. But then he's got these like super detailed creases in his pants, the bend in his like hip, the Molly pouches and stuff. I don't know. It's nitpicky, I guess, but it's inconsistent. the details. Like I'm instant, like especially when you black out this face, the Punisher logo in the armor isn't clear. I'm going off of the title, but if you get rid of the title and just look at the body, it's like not necessarily because it's going to be Punisher. And then the gun being a lighter object and in line with his head takes your eye, and then the body, like the pistol looks way more detailed than this gun, than this rifle. So Miko Soyan, do better. Actual plan: set a minimum for each title by store. Every issue over that minimum is sold to brick and mortar retailers for 60 cents. This puts books on stands, minimize cost to retailers, and helps print runs. So for each title. Huh. I'm guessing if there's a number of stores, that's your. Again, not knowing the business side of this, that's a little bit confusing. Why should you listen to any of this? Because your livelihood is tethered to the retail community. Rome is on fire. Fiddle or get on the phone with some of your key retail partners and find out what it's like out here, but be prepared for some ugly stories. Really quick. Looking at this Superman, gay Superman cover. This could work for, I don't know, a newer character, or like, I don't know, Nightwing, trying to do like some twink stuff. It's manga stuff. It's going over bonkers right now. I went to the library. This young girl working there. I'm like, hey, how old are you? 21. I'm like, all right. It's like, what are like young people into right now? I've heard of this manga craze. I've not really dug into it myself. And she's like, oh, they love drama. And it's like, dude, that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, his love interest, his triangles and whatnot. This would be better a sell. I mean, you're going to get some backlash because you're even the nuance of bisexuality. You're gaying Superman. That's going to ruffle feathers. If you won't accept that, you need to actually make them bi, because all I'm seeing is gay, and that's very off-putting to a male-heavy market, especially when it's been a market for years. Like Miss Marvel, classic pinup character. She's not really a valuable character, but she's a pinup. She's cheesecake. If you had a kind of like Batman Forever, where Batman's got like, do I choose the girl or do I choose my ward, Robin? And he's like, I choose both, and throws coins. But that dilemma, if you do like Twilight, Team Jacob or Team Edward, like you need that for Superman. This twink kid Superman. You need to have like, oh man, the modern day problems. Do I make a polycule? Do I go gay? Do I go straight? How do I figure this out? Ultimately, this should be secondary to, like, who is he fighting? Is his conflict gayness? That now that I really start like digging into this and like tearing it apart, of like, what's the sell? It goes back to the Stone Toss comic of burgers. If you know, you know. Hey, Michael Brent says Marvel should make more crossover comics. Like, make a crossover Marvel, like step outside your comfort zone. DC already did crossovers Godzilla and King Kong. Well, hey, Michael Brent, I'll tell you this. I haven't got to dig into it, but like they did a crossover. If you haven't seen it, Predator versus Wolverine. What a cool crossover. I only read issue 1, but it's cool because it's like got like multiple timelines, I guess, of him dealing with the Predator over his lifetime. And it's great because the Predator's been like age old as far as the lore, coming to Earth hunting, and then Wolverine is immortal. He's vampiric. And so it's so cool that you get these like bladed, Predator's a lot more, of course, but you get like this immortal bladed freak versus freak alien hunters. What a cool crossover. Planet of the Apes comic, and they got the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes coming out. Looks amazing. They're following up the trilogy. That was amazing. And yeah, 20th Century Studios doing some comics with those IPs from Fox. So yeah, I mean they did crossover covers of Alien. Alien's harder because it's a hive of acid blood bugs. So um but yeah, like one of my favorite comics, Vampirilla or Aliens versus Vampirilla. So such a crazy cross because Vampirilla is like a alien vampire species. I guess that's the lore of vampires in Vampirilla's world. Um, that's fun. Yeah, I like your idea. I wouldn't do too much, but yeah, they need to like going back. Let me look if you didn't see. Let me scroll up. Great cover here, Michael Brent. Right here. Look at this. It's Wonder Woman in her classic like 40s style, riding a kangaroo. It appears from Olympus. That's awesome. That's wacky, silly shit. You don't have to make everything Dark Knight and Civil War. You don't have to make everything silly or serious and in game and drastic. Like I think they're really missing the charm. And when they want to do these like sexuality swaps or deviations to establish lore historically, they're not encapsulating it properly. Where it's like gay Superman. Oh man, I'm fighting. I don't know, say Doomsday or Lex Luthor or something. Some creation hurts him for a second, and then like kind of like the Flash in Snyder Cut when like he's like dog walking or whatever, and then he's trying to get a job, I think, as a dog walker or at a pound or something, and then calamity happens and he like saves a girl and he's instantly like interested. I guess he went to school too, and he's always liked her, and he's too much of a putz to figure out how to like ask her out. Do something like that, you know, or I don't know, actually have depth where it's like I don't know, make the gay interest a trap where it's very feminine, and that's like a smoother angle for a male heavy, and you assume straight heavy audience of like, oh, liking traps isn't gay. It's very feminine. Okay, interesting. They don't want to do that. They just want to do outright in your face, like it or you're a bigot. And man, um, God, I like your idea, Michael Brent. I like it. Thank you for joining, by the way. Appreciate it. I'm about 1,000 hours or less than 1,000 hours from hitting the monetization goal to finally remonetize the channel, and hopefully we're getting settled, getting back in a groove over the next month. Be able to make more content consistently, and hopefully get monetized, and however y'all want to support me. Hopefully get Meth Gator on track. I got a little fund, but it's an uphill battle. We're in a Biden economy, and comics are not cheap. I mean, they're relatively cheap as far as making entertainment, but it's still like by yourself, it's a lot of money to try to make. See, this guy ends without some immediate action. I see 25% of the retail stores closing at the end of the first quarter, 2024. Editor's note: Phil Boyle, the author of this article, is the proprietor of Coliseum of Comics in Orlando. And here's his site. So I guess he's got multiple stores. I don't know. But let me get out of here. And not out of here, but it's a couple Kickstarters I'm interested in. We're going to look at Kickstarter. Okay, finally. Every time I go on Kickstarter, it's in Japanese for some reason. I'm like, how do I change this? So let's look at this. And yeah, Marvel should give you money. That'd be cool. I don't know why it looks so dark right now. I got 2 lights in a lighter room. I don't know why it looks so dark. 1 second. How's that? Is that a little better? Still figuring out this lighting game. Let me share this to you. This looks pretty cool. I like Lady Death. Lady Death is like low stakes. It's melodrama. It's just an excuse for like sexy ladies to be in different poses and clashing. But Polito knows what he's doing. And he's crossing over to Zombie Tramp. And what's crazy is Isaac Bell, I saw on Twitter, he's got a why is this? Let me try to refresh this. There we go. So I guess Polito's letting Zombie Tramp run this campaign. Damn Mendoza. Come on. Why is it not showing the actual campaign? All right, let's look at this trailer.
Welcome, welcome, Still Ill fans, and greetings to you, Coffin Comic fans. This is been in the making for a while, for a long time coming, and we are pleased to finally present it to you. This is Lady Death versus Zombie Tramp. Who will win? I don't know. You got to get it. You got to read it. So without further ado, let's check out this awesome trailer presented to you from the animation skills of the Zong brothers. Stay ill.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice.
Is that all you got? You look like you're ready to die.
Lick my boots, dead girl.
Oh my god, this is awesome. Oh, the jiggle physics, yes. Okay. Kind of ended in anticlimactic right there at the end, but I appreciate them putting the credits there for people. Ah, shit. Wrong button. My Halloween comic display on the wall this year was all old Lady Death comics. Nice physics. I know, right? That was awesome. It's a mixed bag. That trailer's mixed bag. I'm fine with the opening, like, hey, I'm Dan Mendoza, doing comic. I would have just made that like a Twitter thing, like go check out, and then like have that separate and just have your thing. Yeah, no brainer. God damn, that was awesome. I actually have like a first volume of Zombie Tramp just because it was at a comic store and she's hot. Dan Mendoza does great stuff. It's very cartoony, but still gets the sex appeal. And of course, I need to actually watch the movie. I skimmed it before, but I need to actually watch it. I know it didn't get well received, but I love Polito to actually take another crack at it, especially with his Hell Witch and stuff in La Muerta. Let me pull up that campaign again. Here we go. Come on. I do not know why. This page is like, all right. Cool. So we're meeting the team. Interior. A couple interior colorists. Okay, Mendoza's doing the art. Cool. Bored with the mastery of dream realms, a mischievous force looks to be entertained. With the help of her companion, she reaches into alternate realities, pulling through two representations of death and forces them to face off. Who will make it out alive? Can these two survive a realm they can't control? Pre-order and find out. Let's look at some of this Mendoza art. It's not going to look great with this zoom, but it's a cool little duality image there, the two. I don't know much about Zombie Tramp, but I love tits and ass comics. I saw something Polito was saying like, "Hey, I know what I write. I'm not trying to like make an Oscar or something." It's like I wish she would do tits and ass with actual like real storytelling, not just surface level sex appeal, and it's just kind of melodramatic. I wish there was like something like a Civil War level comic or a House of M comic of like, damn, this comic of tits and ass was like a real story. But yeah, here's the Mendoza cover. Seller cover. That looks pretty cool. Bill McKay. Okay. I'm hoping we see one. Oh, nope, that's not it. It's Kincaid. Chet Sotis. I've seen that name, but I don't know how to say his name. DeBalfo. I always say that backwards. God, these are some nice covers. But there's one I saw on Twitter. I hope it's here. Isaac Bell. There it is. Look at that. That's the one I want. That looks awesome. And it's 64 pages. It's pretty sizable for a crowdfunding comic. Usually pretty much standard size. Maybe 48. 64. That's really going at it. Draxcale looks pretty fun. And then you got kinky editions. I'm just gonna scroll through this quick. Get out of here, get out of here, get out. Wait, Jim Ballant? Did I see that right? Yeah, Jim Ballant's doing a cover. Multi-cover. That's fucking cool. And it's got all these like, looks like Disney princess parodies. That's cool. He's got Beast and Stitch and the Snake. And he's got what is it? Is it Pain and the two demons from Hades from Hercules? That's awesome. He's got like Playboy bunnies. This is awesome. I don't know how they make money with all these covers. I mean, they make them high price, but still, it's just like, dang. Yeah, those are some nice ones. Let's see what y'all thinking here. The Western comic industry may be collapsing, but at least comics themselves are doing fine. Yeah. I mean, Sage one about Riververse, but he's still doing great right now. The trailer was mixed bag, in my opinion. Especially having read a little bit in Ice on two of these characters. It's just like, I mean, we'll see, but whatever Chuck Dixon's writing, you're writing Rippa game plan, so. But I backed it day one. We're going to see how bad it is. But no, Isaac Bell. Speaking of Isaac Bell, let me see if I can. It's here at the bottom. Yeah, Hex. Issue 1. Let me share that. This is the one I wanted to look at. There we go. I backed Metal Shade 1. I need to get the other issues, but it's hard to read just because it's like such in-depth, gritty art. It's just there's so much. It's like hard to focus the eyes for me. I got astigmatism, so like it legitimately is hard to focus sometimes. Oh my god. Yes, that's a better trailer, even though it doesn't have like actual animation. Like, you know, a cartoon. Tell us kind of a pitch, but that's awesome. I definitely gonna back this. And again, how do I get rid of this Japanese? Let me see. I'll have to figure out later. But 17-year-old Ellie Amber was living a perfectly abnormal life. Haunted by darkness and horrifying visits from demons, terror and hopelessness were all he knew. Maggots ate his organs. His blood turned to ectoplasm and parasites grew in his bones. Everything was going horribly until a witch showed up one day and ruined everything. Her name was Rain, and she knew why Eli was so tormented. Within the young man's chest beat the broken heart of a hero. Nothing is more delicious to a demon or witch, for that matter. She compels the young man to take control of his altered body and newly emerging powers to transform into the monstrous Hex and take his life back. Okay, that's weird. So, I guess it's about Eli. But again, with Isaac's art, such sexy ladies, I was assuming it's going to be about the Hex lady. Man, this looks amazing. I'm always mesmerized by his art. Let's see. God, look at that. Look at the crazy. This is Spawn. This guy should be making Spawn comics. Oh my God. Yeah, go check it. Let me share the link for y'all. There you go. Go check out that campaign. Go back it and go follow Isaac Bell. He's got a channel. He's got some good content I've seen before. Yeah, he's already got a lot of the stretch goals opened up. For $25, he packs a real deal. Just the comic alone's worth it, but oh my God. Look, it's the guy, but he's still got ladies here. What a perfect deal. But yeah, I just wanted to show you all these. I'm interested. I'll probably back both of these. Look amazing. Anything else you want to say before I go? Be here Thursday, All American Beef Mean Rookie, 9:15 p.m. Not sure what we're gonna be talking about, but it's always fun. And of course, I don't have it like on hand right here, but I just got my copy of the Action Bible. It's a comic version of the Bible with the key stories. Rookies never read the Bible at all. Didn't grow up with it. So I'm always having to like educate them about stuff like, why is everyone so triggered by Last of Us, the gay episode? And it's like, well, there's a little story called Sodom and Gomorrah. So on. Or masturbation's a sin. Or I guess depending on your denomination, it is or not. But generally in Christianity, as far as I know, it's a sin. And it's so foreign to them. And I have to explain like, well, what is the theological argument behind that? And it makes for a good conversation. Really, it's all rooted in Star Wars for us. So I'll explain something like, well, this is, or in just films in general, be like, well, this is what they're pulling from. It reflects the Bible in some way, so it's intrinsic to our society, our storytelling. So it's fun digging into it. We just did, I think we ended with Adam and Eve getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden. The way they present it is like, I guess the angel guarding Eden is like a sword. And he's like, well, just go around it. Do or do not. There is no try. I like that attitude. Diano, did you back Alpha Core? And if not, why do you hate black people? I don't know if I've seen you in my chat before. What's your background? Following me or jumping in here? Not opposed, just interested. Let me get, there you go. Get rid of that. But yeah, any last commentary? So you spent too much on old heavy metal mags. I need to get into heavy metal. The art clearly is awesome. And I love the South Park episode of Kenny, his journey in the heavy metal world. Rookie's got me into South Park. Now I'm like, now I've seen most of the show over the last year because of him. You've been subscribed to for a while. Your stream came out. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. Plan to get back to making content, viewing comics. Problem is, I'll just do like the camera looking at the comic and talking about it and my perspective. But I want to do like the comics explain type of stuff. It's just time. Don't have the time right now. But I want to get back to trying to make like essay videos. It's just there's so much I want to do and it's a little time. I need like an editor or something. That would really help if I could just like write a script, record, and then hand it to someone. That would be amazing. I miss doing that. I didn't have anyone. I just did it all myself, but I miss having time and having an idea and putting effort in for like a couple days or a week. And it's crazy is a lot of videos that I've made scripted and at least a slideshow or something was on my iPhone. iMovie was such a help. I miss doing that. I miss having those spurts and just boom doing it. I really wish I had like that comedic. Let me ask you what you think of this, Diano Marty. I was thinking about doing a shirt. And if you've seen on Twitter the talk, everyone gets triggered by the simple question, what's your favorite part of ISOM? And it's clearly, a neg because it's like, how many of you actually read it? Because all these reviews are so lame ass. Like, oh, I love it. Just it flows and blah, blah, blah. And such like limp dick commentary. And then Dick Masterson does his review. And it just shatters everybody. And the saga since has just been every time you think, oh, ISOM, Alpha Core, the Ripaverse, we can take a break for a while. No, there's something else. Oh, look, Eric's fucking triggered. He's ass mad. It's so fun. Even if you're a fan, if you're objective, I think you got to admit, this dude cannot take criticism. And it makes it fucking funny. It looks weak as fuck. This whole I used to bang and, trying to be hard. And then the way he acts about small shit. It's very unbecoming. There would be no growing bunny army to laugh at every little thing if he just roll with the punches. I don't know why my nose is itching. But I'm thinking about making a silly meme shirt. It would say, what's your favorite part of ISOM? No one is perfect. I agree. But with that kind of stature and, having all these montage or hater streams and whatnot, debating people, make them look like clowns. The mask is off. That's what I get a kick out of so much. That's why it's fun. And that's why I'm so excited to read Alpha Core 1. The worst thing that can happen for us haters is the books actually be good. Then it's just like, oh, okay, I guess they're good. It'd be like Andor. I don't know if you're false Star Wars, Deano, but Rookie doesn't understand this. But we're watching Andor halfway through it, and I'm like, yeah, it's a good story. I'd rather watch Ahsoka or Obi-Wan or The Last Jedi or Book of Boba Fett. The first 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett are awesome. I love them. But the show fell on its face. It's a joke. Mando season 3. So what was that? I mean, you got such good in-depth ideas for the Republic being in control with this former Imperial doctor. Yeah, Andor is such a good show, but it's just, it's a good show. What's the mark it's leaving on Star Wars? We can probably talk about more about that Thursday, but Dino Marty, my bad. I will correct that from now on, Dino. But yeah, I gotta get to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. So appreciate you hanging out with me. Didn't know if I'd make an hour or not. Just going over that article initially. It seemed like interesting matter to discuss. Appreciate you hanging out, and I'll talk to you hopefully Thursday. See you in the chat. Till then, talk to you later.